Hi, I'm Aparna, and this is Cincinnati from Scratch.
Put your hands in front of your face and clap.
Hi, my name's Autumn Rinaldi. I'm 15 years old. I play the cello and I'm the composer of the piece Walk. This piece is about my afternoons, me like having a list of things, of everything I'm gonna do, and not being able to get through it and getting a little frustrated. But I figured out that if I take a walk or if I take a nap, everything kind of like settles back in place and I can get stuff done. So a lot of this was about writing the piece and composing the piece itself. Is I would sit down at my computer and I would like have all these ideas and I wasn't able to get them down on paper, or on the screen, or some like my mouse would break, or like I couldn't, like there's all these weird things in the software that just don't work the way you want them to. And I would just like completely rage at my computer. I would close it, I would slam it on the floor, and I would take a walk. So the piece starts out as like a very like solid melody, like very predictable, very nice sounding. It's on the violin and the vibraphone has kind of like a piano chordish accompaniment. And then the second variation is a bit more frantic. So I turned the original melody into 16th notes on the violin, and then I have the vibraphone percussion, and it turns into a snare drum. So it's a bit more like frustrated, something, and then at the very end it like snaps. And then the next one is like the third variation's a bit more tired. So I have the vibraphone doing all these like arpeggiated chords that are kind of dissonant with each other. They don't really lead anywhere harmonically. And then the violin is plucking and it's playing the same theme but in a minor key. And then the next one after that is frustration. So I have the violin make these horrible sounding, like just crunching on the violin notes, and then some artificial harmonics, just really, you know. But at the same time, I have the percussion playing the same melody from the beginning. So this kind of dissonance between what I'm trying to get done and what I'm feeling. And then the next variation is my distraction variation. So instead of, this is the wrong way to cope with your frustrations, is going on YouTube for 30 minutes. And there's a lot of things on YouTube that you can get sucked down into. So I use the cat piano to represent this. So it's just, the violin is just me kind of, sighing and rolling around in my chair and fidgeting with my hands. And then the cat piano is just, it's the cat piano. It's just everything that you don't want to be there. You don't want a cat piano in a piece with a violin, and it's completely out of place, and that's what I wanted. And then the last variation is my favorite. It's just my favorite. Everything about it is so like serene and calm, but not continuously. There's little ups and downs, but at the very end it just kind of flows into something. Like when the major chord plays at the very end, it feels like that's where the piece has been leading to the entire time. And that's kind of my walk outside. The most important thing I learned through this process is definitely a different way to look at music. I'm a cellist, so I've been playing since I was 5 too, and I was in Suzuki program, so everything was by the method. It was like, you sit this way, you play the cello like this, every note, and then as I got more advanced, then it became, technical precision and really delving deep into musical things, but it was almost like we're trying to follow the template that people have already given us, and that we as music students, we all have to really follow. And I think there's something really important in that, but I've been having a lot of fun just sitting back and realizing, wow, I can play the cello and I know a lot about music really well, and I can just kind of make music. I can make music and I can think about it in different ways, and I can do really fun things with this. And yeah, I think it's just been able to like rediscover music all over again.
Hi, my name is Grace Oyediran. I'm 17 years old. I play the violin and the piano, and my piece is called Horizons. Okay, my piece is about the horizon, and the horizon separates the sky and the ocean. And my piece has two sections that represent both the sky and the ocean. In the sky, the sounds are in like a higher register, and you'll hear like wind because there's wind in the sky, and it's gonna feel a little bit shallow, and then there's gonna be a part where it like climaxes to the horizon, and then you're sent into the lower section of the ocean, which is like more dangerous, and it's like lower, there's lower sounds, and there's like rumbling to represent like the waves of the ocean, and there's sounds that sound like waves, and they're very different. They're two different sections. And if you look at the horizon, like the sky is light and the ocean is more dark, so there's like two different shades of blue with two different moods, and there's two different moods in the piece. And then there's also going to be a melody that represents the light, like the sun, and the sun is in the sky section, but then it gets reflected into the ocean. And so like there's a fragment of the melody in the ocean part that you originally hear in the sky part. My score is like a painting that I made when I was around 6 or 7, and the painting is a sunset, and there's a horizon line in the sun, like in the painting, and we use that painting for the score. So we put like a list of sounds that you use for the sky section on the sky part of the painting, and then the list of sounds that you use for the ocean part on the ocean side of the painting. And like you look at the painting and you see the horizon, you see what it's supposed to look like, and then you can see the sounds to create the painting in a sonic way. So the violin being tuned down kind of allows the violin to exist in a much lower register than it was in the air part of the piece. And it kind of gives it like this like spooky kind of vibe to the ocean part, which is pretty cool. My experience in this composition program was fun. It was very interesting. It was a little bit confusing in the beginning because I didn't know what I was going to do my piece about, but we worked through it, me and Joe and Hannah, and we came up with ideas that like kind of turned my original idea, which was, you know, the ocean and the sky, into a piece with sounds, and it like still represents what I was originally thinking. The most important thing that I learned through this process was that music is very like malleable. You can kind of do whatever you want with it to take an idea and make it into something that other people can experience, and it was very interesting. It opened my mind. I think in the future I plan to probably compose more. It's fun, and I might come up with maybe more abstract ideas. I do play the piano. I play 2 instruments, and my dad does have a little recording studio, so I could make use of that if I wanted to, and do something similar.
Hi, my name is Gunnar Pellissier. I'm 17, I play bassoon, and my piece is Spacecraft. So my piece is kind of like a culmination of different inspirations I've taken that have to do with outer space, and I wanted to capture it in a percussion solo using the vibraphone with its like pure sound and incorporating the bass drum to have sort of like a rumbling effect so that the listener can kind of envision a spacecraft lifting off from the ground and going into orbit. And so it's a very visual piece, and it has a lot of ethereal feels to it, and it switches modes a lot. And I wanted to add kind of like a little bit of a jazzy influence to it in certain middle sections, and have like a faster section in the middle, of course, the main theme. Kind of represent the computer of the ship thinking and preparing to launch. So the drum drone to me it's almost like another player. It's almost like a duet, except it's also controlled by the soloist. It represents like the constants of the computer thinking. It is a heartbeat, but it doesn't sound like a heartbeat because of course it's a computer, and it not only helps keep the musician on track while they're doing all of the runs and riffs. It sort of adds another layer of polyrhythm against the changing pulse point in the vibraphone, while it is staying with the constant 16th notes with emphasis on the downbeats as if it was in 4/4. I want this piece to inspire people to appreciate outer space more and find more wonder in their life, because this piece is a culmination of inspiration and curiosity and the relationship with the unknown in space. And it doesn't take it from a cautious approach, it takes it from a creative approach. And I want people to be able to approach the unknown with curiosity and excitement. Joe and Hannah helped me with coming up with ideas that I could use to represent through violin and or percussion. And overall, it was very informative and educational with, helping me to actually write music the first time and actually get a piece finished. And, I learned a lot. Probably the most impactful thing I learned through this course was the ability to be inspired by simple things or complex things and rework it into musical ideologies rather than having them stay as abstract thoughts. Being able to experience something or see something and rework it into music and put it on a paper. Or not on a paper. In fact, I learned that too.
Hi, my name is Carmen DeAtley-Rosales, and I wrote Drizzling Warmth. My piece, Drizzling Warmth, is supposed to be about you reading a book in a cozy room while there's an unpredictable pop-up storm going on outside. So at first you'll hear a few unpitched notes by both instruments, and this is supposed to be like the rain droplets hitting the ground at first, and then they turn into pitched notes as the rain droplets become more sudden and heavier and more frequent. And then later on, this develops into a melody, and that's like the rainfall becoming heavier and more sudden. It's like a shower now. And then afterwards, there's like after its climax, there's just a random stop. And this is supposed to represent like a pop-up storm, because a lot of times in pop-up storms, they just randomly stop after they hit its climax, and then they just go back to raining sometimes. So I was trying to implement the natural weather into my piece. Then after the stop, after a few seconds, we go back to playing, and this time it's a little bit quieter, but it's still like the melody. Afterwards, this fades into pitched notes, and that represents the rain droplets becoming more sparse, but they're still there. And then they turn into unpitched notes as they become more sparse and lighter, and then it all fades out. I learned that like not all music has to be like the classical music you hear at like the CSS sometimes, because I feel like all of the music that we all compose, it all seems more contemporary, and we use stuff that like you wouldn't think that you were using in like in music. Someone used a Kroger bag, for example, and that was fun, and then someone else used a cat piano, and it's just pretty surprising that you can use anything for music and it's still like official music that people hear.
Hi, my name is Aparna Nambirajan, and my piece is called Her Child. So, my piece, Her Child, is about a mother's journey of taking care of a child. This piece, Her Child, was originally supposed to be a sister piece to another piece that I wrote called Eternal Slumber, which was talking about death. I wanted to talk about the miracles of a life coming into this world and a mother's journey of taking care of this life. The first section of this piece talks about the stress that it is to get the child from the hospital, or even to get to even give birth, because a mother's journey giving birth to a child is something, well, I don't know anything about it, but it is something that I've heard people talk about. And the second section is supposed to talk about the calmness and the joy that she's found in this child, and the joy that she's found taking care of it. The third section of this piece talks about the stress of taking care of a child, because it's obviously not all fun and games when it comes to taking care of a child. And the last section talks about the miracle that this life is, and really emphasizes the reflection upon which the mother is taking care of the child. What I want people to really walk away with when hearing this piece is basically that life is a long journey. I said before that this is a sister piece to my other piece, Eternal Slumber. I want this to be the realization that there's so much joy to life that we need to realize, other than just like dying. This is supposed to be a part of another project that I called Greener, talking about a life comparison analysis, essentially. This is supposed to show the joyfulness of life and how a child can be the most miraculous thing to be in our lives, essentially. My experience in this composition program was pretty good. It was really fun. I think the one thing that I really liked was the freedom that I was given in this program to be able to write about any sort of concept. I really took the time to write about something that I really wanted to write about, and not something that like someone assigned to me to write about, because I do write pieces that are assigned to me. And I also liked the freedom that I was given. Although I had to write for violin, I really liked experimenting with writing for different kinds of percussion instruments and seeing what was the best fit. And that, I feel, was what was the most fun about this. I think the most impactful thing that I've learned over the past couple of months was the freedom, how new composers nowadays have more freedom. And I really wanted to take advantage of that freedom, but I just didn't think I had the freedom to take advantages of those freedoms in the composition world. So in this program, I really enjoyed taking those liberties with extended techniques and just asking about different things I can do on each and every instrument.